All right, so before we get started on cooking or anything like that, there's some rules that you need to follow in the kitchen. One is safety. So if you're using a blender, which we'll be using today, don't stick your hand in it. There is a sharp blade down at the bottom. So don't stick your hand in there to make sure everything's stirred up. We'll actually use a spoon so we won't hurt ourselves. When we're using knives and cutting boards, make sure that if you don't know how to use the knife right, you have somebody in the house that can help you. I will be showing you how to do it on mine, but I want you to make sure you have assistance. We will at times be using a stovetop and an oven. Make sure that you know how to turn those on, and if you don't or need assistance from somebody in the house, make sure they're there to assist you for these things, all right? The other rule that I have is you make the mess, you clean the mess. Okay? Whatever we do, you at the end, or while we're waiting on our stuff to cook, need to be cleaning. Okay? Whether it's rinsing it all out, putting it in the dishwasher, washing it, putting it up, you're in charge of cleaning up your mess. Don't leave your mess for your parents. Got it? All right. All right, we're gonna start today with our Skywalker smoothie. So if you wanna go ahead, if you've got the ingredients, you wanna go ahead and get your blender, get your juice, your strawberries, and your bananas. So your strawberries, your bananas, and whichever juice you picked, pineapple, orange, or grape. Now, if you picked strawberries that were fresh, they have the green stem on them. You need to cut that green stem off, okay? My strawberries were frozen, so the stem is already cut off, all right? You just need to make sure the stems are cut off of your strawberries, and you want to get a cup of strawberries. Once you have your cup of strawberries, we're going to take that cup, we're going to take this cup and we're going to put it in our blender. I'm going to move my computer up so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so here's my blender. So I'm going to take my cup of strawberries and I'm going to pour it straight into my blender. Now, one thing I want to tell you is recipes, yes, they call for specific things, but you can change them to make them better, to make them taste like you want them to taste, to do different things with them. When I make this, I put more than one banana in it, but it's up to you how many you want to put in it. So the next thing you do is you get a banana, and you're going to peel it. And then you're just going to break it into the little pieces and put in, so it's not trying to blend the whole banana at once. And like I said, I do more than one banana, so I'm going to do an extra one. It's up to you. You can do however many you want. And if you don't like bananas or you're allergic to them, you don't even have to put them in. Just put in what is good for you. Alright, so I have about a cup of strawberries and about a cup of bananas. If I wanted to put more in there, I could. Now, you had your choice of apple juice, orange juice, or grape juice. When I make mine, I make it with both pineapple and orange juice. So it just depends on what you like. Some people don't like pineapple orange and they want grape. That's fine. It's whatever kind of juice you like. So I'm going to use the pineapple juice. I'm going to use a cup of it. And I'm going to put about a cup of orange juice in also. All right. The last thing we need for this shake is some ice. For the smoothie is ice. I just go to the freezer and I get about a handful of ice. It says 4 pieces, but you can use however much you want. I got a handful. It's about 5 or 6 pieces, and you just put it in your blender. Are we good so far? Thumbs up if we're good? All right, I see some people putting their blender on. All right, now we're going to go ahead and blend this. Depending on what your blender says, it may be a number that you go to. You want to go to about the halfway mark. Mine actually says the word blend, so I'm going to push that. It will get really loud because remember, it's trying to chunk up the ice, bananas, and strawberries. So go ahead right now if you've got yours ready and blend it. Take the top off and I'm just going to check it with my spoon to see that everything is blended. If it's not, then I need to turn it back on for a few more minutes or for a few more seconds, depending on what is still to blend. Mine is all completely blended. I use a slotted spoon to check it because that way I can go down and pick it up, and if there's any fruit or ice left, it'll get stuck in that slotted spoon and I know to go ahead and blend it some more, but mine is pretty well blended. So we'll get a cup. And go ahead and pull the plug on your blender once you've done blended it, because you don't want to accidentally push the button and it come on while you're trying to take the blender off to pour it. So once you're done, you've got it all blended, you've got a cup ready, go ahead and take the blender and pull the plug on it. For safety, pull the plug so you don't accidentally turn it on. And then go ahead and pour yourself a cup of Skywalker smoothie. Go ahead and try it, see if you like it. That's another thing you should always do. Before you feed anybody in your family the food or the drink, make sure you like it. Because it's not fair for you to give them something you don't like. Good? I'm getting some thumbs up. All right. All right, let me finish pouring this one out. Hand it off to somebody in my family that wants it. Do you want some? Okay. Better. I don't know what it was. All right. And here in a few minutes, if you just want to rinse the blender out, here in a few minutes we'll have a chance to clean it while we're waiting on our stuff to bake that we're going to make next. All right. So that's how you make a Skywalker smoothie. So if you're a Star Wars fan, there you go. Make those Skywalker smoothies. All right. The next recipe. Again, I went very simple this time. But I will tell you, starting tomorrow, we're going to make dinner. You're going to be making chicken pot pie tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we're making boba fettuccine for the Star Wars fans. And then on Thursday, we're going to make chicken kebabs, and they're called Obi-Wan kebabs is what they're called, again, for our Star Wars fans. So this week, so for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you can tell Mom and Dad that you're making dinner, okay? As long as you've got everything, we're going to be making dinner. Now, next week, we're going to focus on desserts. So we're going to be making one that's like a cheesecake. We're going to make a cake. We're going to make a granola bar. We're going to make some, I just went blank.
I don't know.
Cake, granola bar, cookies. And then the very last week, on Monday, we're going to make spaghetti. And I'm going to teach you how to make homemade sauce. So it's not going to be sauce you buy at the store. I'm going to teach you how to make the sauce. Tuesday, we're going to do some kind of dessert. I haven't decided yet if it's what exactly it's going to be. Wednesday, we're going to be making what's called taco sticks. And then Thursday, we'll end with another dessert. Does that sound good? All right. So today, like I said, we're just starting easy. We're trying to get to know each other, make sure that we've got everything, make sure everybody knows what we're doing. The one thing that I did forget to put on your list of ingredients to get were these skewers, okay? They're 97 cents at Walmart, okay? You'll find them in the section where they have like all the little teaspoons and the teacups and the measuring cups and all the little kitchen gadgets. You'll find them there, or you can find them out by the grills. Okay, you'll need some of these by Thursday. Okay, these are for kebabs, so by Thursday. Okay. All right, let's get started with our rock and roll ups. All right, if you look at if you printed it out, it's actually 2 pages, and I want to go over it a little bit first, because even though we are supposed to follow directions exactly, I want to explain why sometimes we change the directions, okay? So if you look at your list of ingredients, you've got cream cheese, honey Dijon mustard. Now, I had this question this morning in class. Do we have to use honey Dijon mustard? No. You can use regular mustard. You can use Dijon mustard. You don't have to use mustard at all. It's entirely up to you, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes they change depending on your likes, okay? Then we'll have the butter, and it says unsalted. You can use salted or unsalted. It really does not matter. Bread, ham. On the ingredient list, I also put or a lunch meat of your choice. So ham, chicken, salami, turkey, whatever you chose. And then the grated Parmesan cheese. I actually am going to use like the spaghetti cheese. But you can, if you bought the Parmesan cheese that's in a bag, we can use that. And then your vegetable cooking spray to spray your pan. Yes, you can use that. All right, looking at our directions, the very first thing it tells us to do is to preheat our oven. That means we want to get our oven hot. So I'm going to walk over to my oven. We need it at 300 degrees. So if somebody's helping you, go ahead and walk over with them so they can show you how to put it at 300 degrees. All right, I now have mine preheating. All right, the next thing says, in a small bowl. So we're going to get a bowl. Now, my bowl isn't small.
Miss,
yes.
Can I, instead of using the normal oven, can I use this?
Is that like a Dutch oven?
It's the same? Can I use it?
Yes, I think so.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh. All right. So it says to get a small mixing bowl. Mine is a larger mixing bowl. Okay, so I get a mixing bowl. And first thing we want to do is take our cream cheese. Your cream cheese. You may have Philadelphia cream cheese. You may have this cream cheese. It doesn't matter. Yes. Open that box. And then open the package inside. It'll come out in a foil pack like this. Open that package. And we're going to go ahead and add it to our bowl. So just drop it in your bowl once you get it open. All right. Get it open, and I'm going to push it down into the bowl. I'm going to get any extra cream cheese that happens to be on the foil off. All right. Then I just want you to move that cream cheese and start breaking it into pieces. Start breaking that cream cheese into pieces. It should be, if you got it out of the refrigerator early, it should be soft. If you did not, it's going to be cold and it's going to be harder to mix. But if you mix it around a little bit on your own, it'll make it soft. All right, when your cream cheese is soft, this is when you'll get your mustard. And again, like I said, you don't have to use honey Dijon. You can use regular Dijon or you can use regular mustard. Okay, I'm going to take a tablespoon. So a tablespoon will be the biggest of your measuring spoons. And I'm going to get a complete tablespoon. I'm just going to fill my tablespoon up with the mustard. And again, it doesn't have to be honey Dijon. If you've got regular Dijon or you've got regular yellow mustard, it's the same thing. All right. Once you have your teaspoon full, you're just going to dump it in with your cream cheese. Go ahead and use the spatula or spoon that you're using. And go ahead and get all that mustard out of there that you can. And then go ahead and stir it all around. Once you get the mustard in there, go ahead and stir the cream cheese and mustard around. You want to try to coat all the cream cheese with mustard. And I know it looks like a lot of cream cheese to mustard, but that mustard will spread out. Takes a few minutes to get it all in there, especially if you're using cream cheese right out of the refrigerator because it's colder. It's going to take you a few minutes to make sure you get it all spread out and around in everything. Once you get it spread out and around, your cream cheese will turn into kind of a tan, light tan color, not white anymore. So you're looking for it not to be white. All right. How are we doing so far?
Good.
Good? All right. When you've got that done, you're going to just set it aside. We'll come back to it in a minute. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our butter and you're going to put it into a small bowl. Just a small bowl. And it calls for 2 sticks. Start with just 1. Because I don't think you're going to need both sticks. Start with just 1 stick of butter. And then put it in your microwave. And I'm going to melt it.
How many?
1 stick. Like this. If you have stick butter, 1 of these. Put the whole thing in the microwave. Just 1. I know the recipe calls for 2, but you only need 1. All right.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I have to put it in for 1 minute.
Put it in for 1 minute so it melts. You want the whole entire stick of butter to melt in your microwave for 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay? Be careful getting it out because it might be hot. Again, safety. Don't burn yourself. So if you need help, get a pot holder or get an adult to help you. And then I'm just using a spoon to stir mine around to make sure it's all melted. And then after it's melted, just go ahead and set it aside with your cream cheese mix. And you're going to need to get out 8 pieces of bread. Not the end piece, but 8 regular pieces. So we've got our butter on the counter. We've got our cream cheese mixture on the counter.
Miss,
Yes.
do I have to mix it with the cream cheese?
No. Just let it sit in the bowl by itself.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to use it in just a minute. All right. Now for the bread. We're going to take the crust off. Okay? You can peel it with your fingers, or I'm just going to use a simple butter knife, like you would use at the table to butter your bread, and I'm just going to cut it off. So you just cut the crust off every piece of bread. So that your bread looks like this. So you're just cutting the crust off. If you want to peel the crust off, grab a hold of it and just peel all the way around. This is also a way to do it, a little easier. And just set it aside.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Do I have to take the crust off?
Yes, take the crust off like I'm doing. See, I'm just peeling the crust off. And if you want a snack while we're working, you can eat that crust. If you like it. Some people like it and some don't. So, if you want to eat the crust, go ahead. All right, so I'm taking off the crust on my 8 pieces of bread. And like I said, you can do it with a simple butter knife or you can do it with your fingers. Okay, how are we doing with getting the crust off? Are we good?
Yes.
All right. So once you get the crust off the bread, you can do a couple things. You can use a rolling pin to flatten your bread, but if you don't have a rolling pin, you can use your fingers and just do this and make it real thin. See how thin that is? Make it real thin. If you have a rolling pin, you can put down 2 pieces of bread at a time and roll over them. And they're going to be very thin when you get them rolled out. Okay, there's 2 pieces rolled out. See how thin they are? Okay, so make yours that thin and you need to roll out all 8 of them. Like I said, you can do it with your fingers if you don't have a rolling pin. When you get all 8 of them rolled out and stacked together, it'll look like you have 1 piece of bread. That's how little they'll be. All right, so I've rolled out my 8 pieces of bread, and all together, this is how big they are. So about the size of a regular piece of bread. Okay, so you want them real thin.
Okay.
Are we doing good? Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, here's where I'm going to switch the directions around a little bit, because once I get these roll-ups ready, I want to be able to put them straight on a pan. So I'm going to move and get my pan that I'm going to use. Okay, which is my baking pan. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my cooking spray and I'm going to go ahead and spray the pan so it is completely ready. So I'm just going to spray all the way down the pan. All right, that way it's ready to go. And I'm going to sit it right in front of me because I know I'm going to need it. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is you're going to now take your cream cheese and mustard. Take your cream cheese and mustard bowl and bring it over beside your pan. Is everybody caught up? We doing okay? Thumbs up?
What's up?
Good job. Alright, so now what you're going to do is this mix that we made with the cream cheese and mustard, you're going to treat it like butter. And you're just going to spread it on your pieces of bread. And you can make it thick because cream cheese will melt in the oven. So you can make it kind of thick when you put it on. So see how mine's pretty thick. So just make it really thick and do that on every piece. Just like you're spreading peanut butter on a piece of bread.
Miss Blackmon?
Yes.
We have to put butter and then we have to
Say it again.
First we have to put the butter and
No, leave the butter, you just leave aside. You're not using it yet. The only thing you're putting on the bread right now is the cream cheese with the mustard in it.
okay.
Okay? Guys, and remember, cooking is a science. That's the reason I say we can change things around occasionally, because sometimes we find once we do the recipe one way that we try it a different way the next time and we like it better. So cooking is science. So you need to remember that when you're cooking, because you may say, well, when we get done, you may say, well, I got a lot of cream cheese stuff left. Well, once you take a bite, you may realize that, hey, next time you want to use more cream cheese.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Do I have to put on a stack or no?
I'm just stacking them like sandwiches right now. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay? Just to get the cream cheese on them, and then we'll go from there. All right. So what I mean by stacking them is I've got 2 pieces here with cream cheese on them. I'm just putting the cream cheese sides together for now. So I can get them all, get all the cream cheese on each one of them. I'll tell you what, you guys are going to be good chefs by the time we're done. Your parents are going to expect you to make dinner every night. Maria, are you going to make dinner every night for Mom?
Yes, I think so.
You think so? All right. All right. How are we doing on getting the cream cheese mixture on our bread? We doing okay?
We're not doing anything that hard. We're making on our house bread.
Am I making any chicken ones or just...
I don't care.
Do you want any more chicken ones? Or no? Okay. Okay.
Door.
All right. Once you've got them all buttered with the cream cheese, once you got them completely made with the cream cheese, I need a thumbs up so I know we can go on. Good job. All right, getting all kinds of thumbs up. Way to go. All right, now I'm gonna need my lunch meat. For some of you, it may be chicken. For others of you, it may be ham. Or it could be salami, or maybe you picked turkey. Okay, whatever lunch meat you picked. Okay, you're gonna have that out. And you're gonna need your butter that we melted. And you're gonna need Parmesan cheese. Okay, either this kind or if you bought it in a package and it's grated, that's fine, yes. All right, so what I'm gonna do is first, I'm gonna take chicken. I'm going to do a couple chicken ones here. All right. You take a piece of your bread and you put your chicken on it. Okay? And then I'm just going to start rolling my bread. Okay? When I get it completely close, some meat may be sticking out. It's okay. You want to try to pinch the sides of it so it looks like a roll. All right? Now, here's where the butter comes in. Once I have a roll, okay, once I've rolled my meat up in it, then I'm going to take, and in my bowl that I've got my butter in, I'm going to just put my roll in there and get butter all over it. Okay, so I've got butter all over it, and then I'm going to sprinkle Parmesan cheese all around it. And I'm going to put it on my baking pan. So it looks like this. This is the reason we got our pan together first, because I knew I was going to need somewhere to put these. And you're just going to do the same thing over and over to all 8 pieces of bread. So again, put your meat on it, roll it, try and pinch it together where you can, put it in your butter, make sure it gets butter on all the sides, and sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on it, all around it, and lay it on your pan. You want there to be a space of about an inch or so between each one on your pan. And some pieces of bread, like this, the meat's sticking way out, it's okay. If your meat is sticking way out and you didn't get to pinch the bread close, you need to make sure that you put the meat side down on your tray, on your plate. Okay, now I'm moving to ham. And again, I'm just rolling it up, pinching together the ends that I can, and putting it in my butter, roll it around in my butter, and put the Parmesan cheese on it, spread the Parmesan cheese around, and again, place it on my pan. Okay, you're going to do this on every piece. Every piece. Put them in the butter, put the Parmesan cheese on them, put them on your baking pan. Again, if you're doing like I am, I use 2 different kinds of meat. Just make sure you mark it so you know what meat is in which one. So like my chicken ones, I'll mark with a toothpick or something. Just make sure you know. So if somebody doesn't like ham or they're allergic to it, or you like ham but they want a turkey, you'll know the difference in them. If you notice on mine, it's my ham that sticks out more than my chicken. And that's because the ham pieces happen to be a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm doing my last one now. You may not be there yet, that's okay. Do we have them all rolled up? All right, once they're all rolled up and you've got them on your pan, it'll look like this. Go ahead and take your Parmesan cheese and sprinkle a little more just over the top of them, just to make sure we've got a good coating on each one. So sprinkle just a little bit more Parmesan cheese over the top of each one. All right, then when you're ready, you're gonna put them in the oven. Again, if you're not old enough to use the oven, get some help so you don't burn yourself. We're gonna put them in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. So make sure once you put them in that you've started your timer, okay? So go ahead if you're ready and put them in the oven and start your timer.
Excuse me?
Yes.
What is the temperature?
300. All right, once you have them in the oven, now you've got 10 to 15 minutes to clean up the mess you made. So let's start working on that. Clean your counters, wipe them off, clean off the things you've used, the blender, the rolling pin, stuff like that. You've got 10 or 15 minutes right now to clean. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna put some stuff away. So again, you make the mess, you gotta clean the mess. So make sure that you have everything ready to clean. So what I do is I get everything together and I make one spot for what's going in the dishwasher and one spot for what I'm gonna hand wash. And then I start washing. And you can do that too. The first thing is, though, is you need to make sure you've cleaned off clean out your bowls and your silverware and stuff like that, because you don't want to put that in the dishwasher completely dirty. Again, make sure you're cleaning everything up. You always want to take the time to clean what you mess up. And if you clean while you're waiting on something to cook, it's less that you have to clean after you eat. So I'm just washing out my bowls and getting everything ready that I know can go in the dishwasher. If you don't know, or if you don't have a dishwasher and you can get big brother, sister, or mom or dad to help, with somebody washing and somebody drying, it won't take you near as long. And again, I'm just separating things that I know can go in the dishwasher and things that I know cannot. Just getting it all cleaned up so that I don't have to worry about it later on.
That's right there.
Yes. 10 to 15 minutes. And again, like I said, I'm just starting to put away things that I know I don't need anymore. Because I sure don't want anybody to come home to a dirty kitchen. They won't like the cooking class if they come home and their kitchen's dirty every day.
Just on the counter. I'll figure it out.
Alright. Let's see if I can get my blender apart here. Guys, if you are taking your blender apart, please be very careful because the blade is very, very sharp. And you do not want to hurt yourself. Alright, so now I've got my stack of stuff that has to be washed and stuff that can go in the dishwasher. And I'm going to wipe down my counter where I was working so that way I can put my pan back over here when I'm done. Alright, got that wiped down. I'm going to put some pot holders on the counter because I don't want to burn the counter. So I'm going to put a couple pot holders down so when it does come out of the oven, it won't burn your mom or dad's counter. We don't want to do that. Now, these are not going to get as brown as like a biscuit. They will turn a little tan. Here in about a minute or so, I'm going to actually take mine out and turn them over. You can do that if you want. You do not have to. They will cook the same whether you turn them or not. I'm going to turn mine just so that I get an even cook on each side, but it's entirely up to you, okay? So that's what I'm getting ready to do now. And you can see they're not done yet. They're still white, but I'm going to turn them to give the other side a chance to get done. Where you going? All right, I'm gonna put them back in the oven now. And I'm gonna let them go about another 5 minutes and they should be done. Again, they aren't gonna get brown like a biscuit. They'll get just a light, like a light brown, maybe, okay? The cream cheese inside, the way you'll know they're done is the cream cheese inside will be melted. So if the cream cheese inside is melted, then they're done, all right? Are there any questions? No? Good. Any problems, any concerns?
Miss Black, may I have a question, but it's not about the thing. It's about, one of the ingredients that you sent us to use.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if this one is red or it's the same, so I will show it to you.
Okay.
It's this one. Do I still use this one? It's supposed
Yes, that one is fine. We're going to actually use that tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay? Yes, that is absolutely fine. What she was showing you was pre-ready made pie crust, and there's 2 in the package. We're going to be making chicken pot pie tomorrow, so you'll have that for dinner for your family. So, ooh, I hope your family likes your cooking.
And another thing is that one of my friends is on the ski class, and she didn't get the thing of the class, like cooking class for that thing. So she wanted to be in cook class, and my mom sent her the email that you sent my mom, and she's trying to do it, but like I don't know if you can do something.
Miss Gorley has all the emails of the people wanting to join now. And so I will be talking to her and making sure that we have everybody that wants to be in, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. What's her name, just so I know?
Oh, Sofia Hernandez.
Okay, yeah. I think, let me check. We may already have her in.
That's weird, because like she was trying to do the things that my mom did.
No, it's another Sophia. Yeah, just have her email Miss Gorley at the email I sent your mom, and they'll get her in the cooking class, okay?
Okay.
And you can just share all the ingredients and stuff for this week. And if you will send me her email, her mom's email, I will go ahead and send her mom the Zoom class link and everything, okay?
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. If anybody else has friends that are wanting to join, make sure you get in touch with us so we can get them on, okay? All right, guys. I've got about 5 more minutes. Any more questions? Concerns? Comments? Anything that you really want to bake that you don't know how? Where you go? Where y'all go? Oh, okay.
I want to learn how to make. Yeah.
What are you looking for?
I want to learn how to
Okay,
make
good luck now.
tortillas, but like with
Like tortillas? Okay. All right. I think mine look to be ready. Let me get them out. All right. Mine are ready. And if you can see, you see the cheese is melted on them. You see the Parmesan's melted on them, and they're ready to eat. So I'm gonna sit them down right here on the counter so that my hungry family can have themselves a snack. So today it was just snack foods, but like I said, tomorrow we will be doing a chicken pot pie that you can serve your family for dinner. And then we're gonna do fettuccine Alfredo with a little extra stuff in it. And we're gonna do kebabs. That's what you need the skewers for. So make sure you get those skewers by Thursday, okay? All right, if there aren't any more questions and everybody's good to go, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.